Hello dear YouTube chess friends. I'm making this video to show a program that I have created recently. The purpose of this program is to capture chess positions from a PDF file or online websites and convert them into a usable PGN format. So for this video I'm using this particular PDF file that I found on the internet, and as you can see there are 6 positions per page here. So what I'm going to do is to kind of speeden up the process of capturing these pictures. I'm going to make some adjustments to my PDF view by rotating the document and then fitting it, so that way I can use page down to kind of go to the next page and so on. Now let me bring up my chess application. So this is the application. So for the first step I do is I have 6 positions on per page, so I choose 6 positions, and I want to capture the coordinates of the first position. So what I do is I try to go over the board, try to overlay this chess application over the board like this, and if needed I can just adjust it a little bit here and there. And once I have this the way I want now, so what I do is now I think is capture the coordinates of this position. So the form position would be captured here. So I say click get x, y, w and h, so it captured this first position. Now I want to go to the second position. So for that what I do is I kind of go to the camera, and here I can just change the x coordinate to say 405 maybe, for example. So I went a little too far, so let me go back a little. Yeah, that seems to be about right. So now I go back to my settings and I capture the second position. Now the second position has been captured. Now I need to go to the third coordinate, or the third position. So again I try to skip by about 400 more pixels. So I go to say 802 or 803 maybe. So now I have, looks like that seems to be perfect. So I just save the coordinates, and now I do the same thing for the rest, the other positions. I could probably just drag it like this, for example. And that's my fourth position, so I save that. Now I can also drag this here. Just drag it a little bit. There we go. I think I have the position set up, I guess. Then I capture that. I go to the next position. So this little bit of work in the beginning actually helps us down the road, save a lot of time. So I'm going to capture the sixth position. So now that I have all the 6 positions recorded, what I do is I use the shift key and up and down arrow to go to the next position. For example, I'm hitting the shift and the up, so you can kind of go this way. See, you can go 1 2 3 4 5 6. So and then you can keep repeating this from page to page. So this makes it easy, I guess, to transition from page to page. Now that we have done this part, the second setting that we need to adjust is we have to go here and change this to the file name. This is the Middle Games book, and I'm going to link the PDF reader. So I click here, just link it. So what this does is when I use page down by being in this application, it actually sends the command to the Adobe reader and it turns the page. For example, I'm going to hit page down here, so it changes to the next page, or page up, I go back to the original page. Now that I have all this set up, now we are almost ready to start scanning for all the positions. So here we come and make a few more adjustments or settings, I guess. So this is my first position that I'm trying to record, and it's a Paulette mate. And rest everything seems good, so let me change this to say test positions. and auto increment is correct. Everything I'm going to leave rest as it is. Go to the camera, and this is where everything begins. First we capture the board, and we orient the board so that it's upright, and we crop the excess. So we have this. Now to see whether it's white tumor or black tumor, as you can see on the right side of the on the board, these boxes indicate whether it's white tumor or black tumor. So I don't know what it is in this position, so I hit Ctrl O to change the opacity of the form, and that shows me that it is white tumor. So I go back to my window and I check it is white tumor, and I am not going to change these settings, so I'm going to say finalize the board. Now it says 0 learning so far, identify manually. What this means is that uh, the program has not learned any chess pieces yet. It does not recognize any of the chess pieces. It has 0 templates right now in its database. So the first step for us would be go ahead and identify each piece. So I'm going to select white pieces first and say king, and then I'm going to choose the king, that's K, and I go to the queen, and then rook, bishop. I have 2 bishops here, one on light square and one on dark square, so go ahead and select both of them. And knights, again, they're of different colors, sitting on different colored squares, light and dark squares, so I'm going to select both of them. Next comes pawn, white pawns, so here I'm going to choose these two, for example, an empty square, so this and this, for example. And then I go to the black pieces again, same thing, repeat with black pieces. So choose the king and the queen, rooks. I have again 2 different squares, light and dark squares, so I'm going to select both of them to train the program. Now I do the same with the bishops, and for the knight I don't need to do 2 twice because they're of the same sitting on the same colored square, dark square, so I pick one of them. And for pawns I got to pick 2 of them, and we're pretty much done. And there's nothing to be learned from this particular position. So now the rest I'm going to ask the program to identify itself. So now that we have 20 different templates for different pieces and different square combinations, I'm going to hit F3 and see what the program does. As you can see, the program has identified the rest of the pieces. So this begins the journey. We have some pieces. There are still 6 more pieces missing, but let's see if the program can continue without even learning those 6 pieces. Because, for example, if you can see here which pieces are missing. For example, if I go there, the white's king sitting on dark square is there with the program, but not the one on the light square. So the program can try to use the same template to identify the king sitting on light square, but sometimes it may not. So for those reasons, I think if we get a chance, we should identify the piece, so that way the set of templates is complete. We need 26 to make the whole set. But in this case, I think with this PDF file, the quality of this PDF file is extremely good. So you don't need all the 26 in my experience. 20 is probably enough, I think, for us to carry on the job of capturing these positions. Now once I have the position identified, I just hit F4 to save the position. Now the earlier hard work is paying off. See, automatically the position, the program changed the location and shifted on to the second position. Now we are ready to capture. So here we can hit capture again, orient the board, crop, and now we have to check again it's white to move or black to move. So I hit Ctrl O, and I see it's white to move, so I go back here, it's white to move selected. So I'm not going to change these like before. Hit finalize. Now then we have some learning with the program, so the program knows certain pieces right now, so we can try to give it a shot and see how much it can identify. So I hit F3, and looks like it has identified all the pieces. And the other thing to note is that just to differentiate the pieces, I've used different color letters, for blue for black pieces and green for light square. So visually you can, if there's a mistake done by the program, that at least helps us catch it in time. So the color coding method. So here, once we have identified the position, so we hit F4. Once we go to F4, now we're on to the third position. So every time, instead of hitting a capture, orient, crop, because we're going to do the same thing again and again, there are certain shortcuts, that the program can understand. If you see this, F1 toggles white to move or black to move, and F2 is scan and process the image, and F3 is run match, and F4 is save. So in other words, if you go back here, camera, options, not options, editing, instead of hitting 1, 2 and 3 buttons, we could just hit these 3 plus this button. What we can do simply is hit F2. So we hit F1 to change this, toggle this white and black, and F2 for all the four functions, capture, orient, crop and finalize, and that takes us to this tab where we hit F3 to match and F4 to save. So let me show you how it is done. So first I need to check it's white to move or black to move, so I hit Control O, and then I see it's white to move. Come back here, so I check it's white to move, I hit F2, so it's captured. Now I hit F3, it's identified all the pieces, so I just make sure that it has not left any pieces out. So I see it's done excellently here, so I save the position, move on to the next position. Now here again I have to check it's white to move or black to move. So it's white to move, I hit F2, F3 and F4. I hit check white to move, so F2, F3 and F4. White to move, F2, F3 and F4. So we have finished the first page, so now is the time to go to the next page. So all I do by being in this program is just hit page down. That takes me to the next page of the PDF. Now again we repeat the same thing, so I hit Control O to check it's white to move or black to move. It's still white to move, so I hit F2, F3 and I check quickly that all the pieces are captured, and I save the file. Now I go to the second position, I see it's black to move here. As you can see here, this is black to move, so I go back to the application, I change this to black to move, I hit F2, F3 and the program doesn't have any difficulty identifying pieces, so I save the file and I check it's white to move in this case, so I have to go back and hit F1 and F2, F3, F4. Now again it's white to move, so F2, F3 and F4. So if you are confident enough that the program is doing a good job in identifying pieces without any mistakes, what we can do is we can automate the process even a little more. So we can go back here, we can say auto match, we can do auto save if you want to do auto save as well. So I like to actually not check the auto save option. I just want to make sure I captured the program has not done misidentified any pieces, so I just leave the option open. I only do auto match, so that in other words when I hit F2 it prepares the board and it also does the F3, so I can skip the F3 step. So go back here to the load position tab. Now I check it's white to move, I hit F2, so that's F2 and F3 combined because I selected the auto match option. So now I can see quickly that it has captured everything correctly, bishops, pawns, everything looks alright. So I hit F4. Now I check it's black to move, so I select this and then I hit F2, and as you can see everything looks good, so I hit F4. Now we repeat, go to the next page, page down. Now check it's white to move, so I hit F1, F2 and no mistakes, so I'm going to save this position. Check it's white to move, so hit F2 and F4. White to move, F2 and F4. Check this, it's white to move, so F2 and F4. So F2, and just to give a quick glance, everything looks good. knights, bishops, rook, queen. So I'm going to save this position. White to move, f2 and f4. So as you can see, we have scanned up to 18 positions in just about 2 minutes or so. So what I have done is, I use this program to capture about 4,000 positions in about 4 hours. So this is, you can capture a lot of positions in a short period of time using this program.